अभी आपको बराह रास्त ये चलेंगे, वजीर आजम शहबाज शरीफ दियामर भाषा डैम के दौरे पर पहुंचे।
आसिफ एमएनए साहब, फॉर्मर प्राइम मिनिस्टर एमएनए शाहका महाबाची साहब, मिस मरियम औरंगजेब साहब, respected guests. So it's a great privilege to be here this morning, and I must thank you for taking the time out to be with my team, who are doing a wonderful job out here, sir. So first of all, doing Diamir Bhasha in here is a nightmarish experience, sir. On the counts like its location, very remote, the logistic nightmare, you have security concerns, and lately you were struck by COVID. Sir, let me tell you the figures that we have already 11 shaheeds who are working here in last 2 years. Despite our best international practices, we have lost 11 precious lives, and we have 61 who were wounded. And during COVID, we lost 80 people who worked on the project. Despite losing so many people and having the issues like security and also the location, this project is still on track, sir. Sir, I'd like to just very briefly show you that how is this working. So you're more familiar than this anybody else on development projects. WAPDA is the only parastatal in Pakistan which has unparalleled capacity to identify, design, make a feasibility report, construct and operate. And we today, sir, in Pakistan with about 9,387 megawatt in terms of its power, and in terms of energy, we are producing about 37 billion units. And we do this with only 3 rupees and 15 paisas. So if you see a pie on the right, you have this, Pakistan is producing 129 billion units. We do that about 37 billion. And this 37 billion which we produce at the cost of only 3 rupees, this is the core, this is stability for the entire power sector of Pakistan. And we do all this in line with the SDGs of UN 6, 7, 8, 9. They talk of climate, they talk of clean energy. Sir, our journey to resurgence started once we did these 4 projects. We did Kachchi Canal in 2017. We did Golan Gol in January 18. We did Tarbela Fort in March 18. And we did Neelam Jhelum in April 2018. So these projects were stuck for years, if not decades. Having done this successfully, isko band karwa dijiye. This is what gave us a very good revenue streams and the experience and confidence to do the more projects. I'll just take you to the history, not a very far history, recent history. This is what was done in terms of those projects. Sir.
और टेक्निकल चैलेंजेस थे और कई मीटिंग्स में ये बात भी डिस्कस की गई कि इस प्रोजेक्ट को अबेंडन किया जाए। तो मैं जनरल मुजम्मिल साहब को मशहूर हूँ कि उन्होंने ये चैलेंज लिया। तो आज जितनी जनरल मुजम्मिल साहब को खुशी है तो मुझे भी खुशी है कि हमारा जो एतमाद था वादा पर और जो जनरल मुजम्मिल साहब के वादों पर वो पूरे हुए।
Prime Minister, we have gelled a team which is ever willing to make a contribution. Their expertise, their professionalism, their level of confidence probably can match the best of the team in the world. And that is what took them to really undertake these 10 projects which we are talking today. Sir, before I go to these projects, let me tell you, so this Indus which is passing in front of you, the place where it enters in current area of Pakistan at LOC, at Hamzi Hund, it has about 17 million acre-feet water. Once it comes down to Skardu, the water increases to about 30 million acre-feet by virtue of having tributaries like Shigar into it. And if you go about 100 kilometers upstream to Bunji, it goes up to 50 million acre-feet water. Every year from here, we have 50 million acre-feet water passing downwards. Once it reaches Sarbela, it becomes 60 million acre-feet water. We have Kandia and Dubair River joining in. And from Tarbela downwards, once you have Kabul and Swan coming into this, it is 90 million acre-feet water at the Kalabagh Dam. Of this 90 million acre-feet water, Mr. Prime Minister, we save only 6 million acres. This is a criminally low storage in the world. In Jhelum, you have 24 million acre-feet water every year. We store 7 at Mangla, and we store nothing at Chenab, which is about 26 million acre-feet water. So 90 plus 24 and 26 is about 145 million acre-feet water, and we store only 13 million acre-feet. By virtue of doing these projects, by about 28-29, we will be adding 11.7 million acre-feet water, and sir, will be adding in power more than 11,000 megawatt, which will be in terms of 44 billion units, adding to current 37 billion units. So by end of these projects, we would have shot up more than 120% in power, and we would have added about water storage of more than 95%. So other than these projects, we also have 3 more on the anvil, which is Nolong in Balochistan and Kyal Khwar right here in downwards of Patan, and we have Atabad in Hunza. So what we did was that our team made a strategy that we must build on the increased revenues, and we need to unshackle ourselves from the government of Pakistan because they can't really have a debt on their financial landscape. And we went and explored the possibilities of reaching out to ESG funds, environment funds, and also to emerging markets, venture markets, and equity markets. And for that, we had one of the best financial institutions operating with us. So this is just to give an overview of this, that the 3 major projects what we are doing. This is Mohammed Dam, the Diamir Basha Dam part, Diamir Basha Power Generation, Diamir Basha Land, Dasu. So in all, right bottom corner, this is 2.6 trillion rupees projects which are underway. And all this, Mr. Prime Minister, 2.6 trillion, the government of Pakistan will be chipping in only 648. But more importantly, it is WAPDA would be arranging $6.12 because it started in, of course, 2019, and the government was overstretched. So we ventured out to the market, and what did we do? We first put on house in order, and we took a step of going for the international rating. by not one, by all three rating agencies, Fitch, Moody's and S&P. And you'll be happy to hear that we became the first parastatal in Pakistan to secure the stable outlook by all three. Then we went over to the market and we were able to raise green Eurobond, which I'll explain a little later. So Bhasha, like I said, this is a place where the future destiny of food security and energy security of Pakistan is dependent on. We'll have a gross capacity of 8.1 million acre feet and 6.4 of a life. And other than that, this will provide 18 billion units in terms of power. And a single day of delay in Diamir Bhasha is causing us loss of $5 million in direct and $25 million in terms of indirect effects. So once we started, so what were the major challenges we took? Of course, its gestation period is more, it takes 7 to 8 years. It is very capital intensive. So government is pretty fragile onto this one. Pakistan itself does not have a very high-end engineering capacities. And approvals takes about 26 to 28 months for a project. And the last is also a very negative impact on the development because you have issues like PEPRA and audit and NAB. They become a very big challenge to do the projects. We've been able to do this despite all this. So just a brief, you are very familiar with the features that this is going to be the tallest RCC dam in the world. And we have 50 meters subsurface. And of the rock kind what you have, we have a gabbronite family available here. And this is the best rock to construct a dam. And the structure of the rock under the river is just like a ball. That's a gift of a God to Pakistan. We only need to put a dam there. So its capacity is 8.1 is gross and 6.4 is the live capacity. It will produce 4,500 megawatt. And we'll have two powerhouses, one right, one on the left. And the right one would be located in GB and the left one would be located in the province of KP. Its time is 8.5 years. Sorry. And of course, this PC1 power generation is 933. The land is 174, and we commenced the work on 7th August of 2020. यहाँ पे आपका वो है pointer staff किधर है? So this is the structure. You are sitting just where we have the intake structures right here. So look at the advantages it has. Instantly we have 16,500 jobs created for the project, and we'll be training more than 1,000 engineers here and putting together of Momand and also at Dasu. The Pakistan would have a new crop of engineers on hydrology, about 1,600 of them who will be taking Pakistan's in future. We have cement, Pozolone for transport requirements. In development we're spending 78 billion rupees. And have 18 million units. It will increase the life of the Bela for 35 years, and it will run into $2.5 billion saving every year. And it will be able to irrigate of land of 1.23 million acre. So this is a consultant what we have. We have Stantec. Earlier on they were called as Montgomery Hartza, and we Pori from Switzerland, Dolcer from Turkey, Mott MacDonald from UK. We have NESPAC and ACE and Mott MacDonald Pakistan as a partners with them. So we are very fortunate to have on the board of management Mr. Michael Rogers, who is also the president of International Commission of Lodge Dams, and we other people you can see their profiles. We have Sir Power Shan and FW. They are the civil works with us. And there are a couple of technical challenges which we are facing to construct. First is the seismic hazard assessment. So this is a very high seismic zone. It was prone to seismic impact, and its location close to Asiatic plates. So we had to undertake a very extensive studies, And we had to work out, for example, what happened in 2005 in Pakistan. It was 7.5 Richters, which originated from Kashmir. It results into some kind of a ground acceleration. So at this point, it led to 0.11 G ground variations, whereas our project here is caters for 0.64. So it is 5 times more the maximum expected earthquake ever in Pakistan. So we had a Dr. Nick Greger, and they are the best expert in seismic, and Dr. Norm, they were working with us. They have been extremely useful on the seismic studies. In flood estimations, are in case we work out the Gloff system in Indus, it's extremely dangerous and critical. You have the glaciated lake outburst flood. They could come at any times, and since it's a very erratic river, so we had to be absolutely accurate onto this one, that if you work out on the 100 years turnaround, what's going to be the max PMF, possible maximum flood. So we had the services of Dr. Reynolds and Dr. Martin to have the flood estimation studies. And sedimentations, like I said, that this Indus carries about more than 10,000 million cubic meter sediments at any one time. So we had to work out that in case we don't do good technical work on the sediment studies, this project could end up its life in just about 55 years. But having done those with the techniques of using the low-level outlets, the techniques of managing the sediments, and using the diversion tunnels available and open channel available, so life of the project has been a couple of 100 years. So RCC design itself, we have the two issues here. You'll be surprised to know there are no international companies who had the experience of even laying the concrete for more than 10,000 cubic meter, 10 million cubic meters. This is involving more than 17 million cubic meters, and this tallest dam in the world, and the spillway design has been embedded inside the dam. So that is what it called for, an extraordinary focus on that, and we had a good expert on for these both, RCC placement and also for the design part of itself. Divergence systems, sir, will take you from here. Imagine this river, this be going through a tunnel and open channel for at least 5 to 6 years. So we have to be extra careful in taking the river Indus, because Indus is mammoth, it is unforgiving. So the divergence system had to be done in a way that where the integrity and safety of those divergent tunnel and open tunnel had to be ensured. And even if the project, God forbid, is delayed for a couple of months, so they should be constructed on the design which is good enough to take entire Indus for a specific period of times. And we have underground powerhouses on both sides. We had to really struggle with a kind of a geology on both sides of the rivers. So that has been done, a fantastic job by the experts. This will give you a general profile that how does this make a logistic nightmare for this project. Starting from crush, which is about 27 million tons, the sand of 11 million tons, steel, the cement, and of course going down all the way, the vehicle flow of more than 150. You could have at the peak more than 600 to 700 vehicles passing one day. We have a very comprehensive logistic plan, Mr. Prime Minister. Starting from, we have our base place called Hatia. So we have parking areas, we have our traffic control systems, we have logistic warehouses, and we have 6 sites right here where the logistic is being dumped. So without any interruptions or impediment into the activities, we are managing all this logistics support here at the site. So like you made a mention, the Supreme Court has made a bench headed by Chief Justice himself, and every 2 months we are required to go and present each to them the latest development in the projects, and we have done that about 9 times in the last 2 years to the Supreme Court, and we are expected to do that by May next year again. So this is how we maintain the 4-tier transparency. The first is the project office along with the consultants. They carry out scrutiny of everything, each and everything, starting from a screw going up to the dam structures. And this, of course, this was decided by Mr. Shahid Khaqan Abbasi to construct this company on a project on a company mode, We have the Amir Basha company, which is registered in SECP. We have board of directors where we have, of course, the private members from the sectors. We also have the chief secretaries of KP and GB, and we have secretaries from various ministries like water, finance, and plannings. And then, of course, our continuous appearance to the Supreme Court. We give a progress report to them after every 8 weeks. So this is should interest you that how are we managing this. So we're looking at, inshallah willing, true to the word of WAPDA, where Abbasi Sahab was mentioning on the promises of WAPDA, we are very sure that despite Corona, despite security issue, despite what happened in Dasu in July, we still think that we can do this project in 2029. Our diversion tunnel would be completed, inshallah, by October this year. And then, of course, we'll have, for the diversion system, we need to construct coffer dams upstream and downstream. That will be done by April 23. And we'll have a main access bridge also downstream of the dam. And we're expecting the main dam and the power generation to be done by between June to August 2029. And important points are, I'll make a recommendation that NTDC, which is, of course, not even part of the Ministry of Water, they are supposed to carry out synchronized activities of ensuring that the power is carried to the load center in Pakistan. So that's about generally the timeline, sir. So this is the financial model for budget.
वज़ीर आज़म शहबाज शरीफ दियावर भाषा डैम के दौरे पर पहुंचे हैं, जहां उन्होंने तरक्याती मंसूबों के हवाले से ब्रीफिंग ली और चेयरमैन वापडा इस वक्त
level outlet platforms, and we are supposed to have 2 coffer dams. All in all, we are working at 13 different places at one place, sir. This is for the land acquisition, sir. We are left with 9%, which we would require about 6-7 years from now. And उस 9% में वो जमीन शामिल है जो बेसिकली कुछ दो अपने ट्राइब्स का डिस्प्यूट है आपस में और कोई गवर्नमेंट लैंड है. तो वी आर ओके फॉर द लैंड. We have dispersed the money through a very well systems of very good support of a GB government, and we are good to go on to this one, sir. So this I must explain to you that you see this red part. This is the boundary between KP and GB. This dispute is over 150 years old, and there have been certain people who've been killed by each tribe, and they had declined for any project commencement work of the site unless the dispute is resolved. So that wasn't happening, despite having we had the steering committee, say about 5-6 years before. So finally, sir, I must highlight Dr. Shoaib Taki and his team. They had a 26-member Jarga team, both from Thor and Harban, from KP and also from GB, and good support from GB administration and also from the KP government. We've been able to resolve that, and on these terms and conditions, they have agreed to go ahead on this one. Background I've already told you, sir. But what is the outcome? This is what he agreed on, sir. They allowed us to work. We gave them 400 million rupees because we were supposed to give them a compensation for the land, and they wanted a job for every family killed and for every family which was wounded. So we okayed with them. So we have a team who are working with them, so they ensure a safety and security of that area. There's no trouble on that score, sir. This has been done, sir. So these are smaller things what he did. We have constructed 2 small hydropower, one at Thak, which is at Chalas, and one in at Thor. We are giving electricity to people of Chalas as a goodwill gesture to them. Although their need is more than this, but I think GB government is also working on this already to improve their availability. We have a cadet college at Chalas, which we request you to come and inaugurate, say, after Eid. And we have recently started an army public school at Thor. And then we're also spending money on all comprising education, development plan, health sectors, and intervention of social safeguards. And we also made a model village at Harpandas. This is generally to show you the kind of a work for the social uplift is being done, sir. I make a mention of cultural heritage plans. Sir, you have about 37,000 petroglyphs dating from thousands year on the rocks in this. Under the international regime, we are supposed to have protections of all those fields. What we have done is that we have made a cultural heritage plan. We are taking 2 and 3D pictures of that, and we are making a museum at Chalas where they'll be preserved, all of them. In some cases, we are moving those rocks which are not very heavy to move. But once we do this, the Chalas Museum will become one of the major attractions for the tourists in Pakistan, that they have something to see which is dating back to 900 BC. So this plan is in place, and we have some very good experts who are doing this job for us. It was initially designed by a German archaeologist. He has recently died, but the team is continuing to work with us. So this relocation of KKH, you had a brief look while we were flying in. We had the trouble of continuing work uninterrupted on the main dam because there's a huge traffic which goes through this one. So we've been able to connect this about 40 kilometers area, and it bypasses the entire project. This gives us more space, and this should also help us to save on more times. So this is that road which you saw. No, the recommendation, sir. So this has already been approved by ECNIC, so our only recommendation is that of the 30% commitment by the government, there should not be any interruption in cash flows, and we continue to get 57 billion rupees per annum. And like you made a request that we are the only power generating sector which does not get priority with the power sector. We have 229 billion rupees currently of
चेयरमैन वाबडा इस वक्त दियाबर बादशाह डैम की इस तफसीलात के ऊपर ब्रीफिंग दे रहे हैं। वज़ीर आज़म शहबाज शरीफ भी वहां पर मौजूद हैं, जो इस तमाम सूरत हाल का जायजा ले रहे हैं। और इस सूरत हाल पर चेयरमैन वाबडा ने कहा कि 16,000 से ज्यादा मुलाजमतें होंगी, 2.6 ट्रिलियन रुपए मुख्तलिफ मंसूबों पर खर्च किए जा रहे हैं।